Hi Greedy 3Ders. Now JamgHe have always been a staunch supporter of Greedy 3D and I thank them for that, sending me PLA and resins to test for them and supporting a couple of my videos by giving me the resin and PLA to produce some of the models that I've made. I recently did a review for them for their high speed PLA, but one of the things I lacked at that time was a super fast printer. Well, no more, because now I have the Creality K1 and I can really put their high-speed PLA through the test and review it for you guys. When the packet arrives with you, you'll find it in a cardboard box, and inside said box is the vacuum sealed PLA, and the actual spool itself is made of cardboard, which I think is a great saver for the environment. It has come sealed, the airtight seal is intact, which I always like to see to stop that moisture getting in, and inside the pack are two of the absorbent packets to help protect that PLA from any moisture that gets in there. Now, giving it a pop is fabulous. One of the great things about PLA, and pulling it apart and opening it up, we get to the goodies inside. Now, I always recommend that you keep the silica gel packets. These are great for using in things like filament dryers or popping them in the bags that you can store your filament in. Now, as I said, it is a cardboard container, and on it there are some barcodes there which take you through to their official websites where you can find some help with your settings if you need it. So I'm going to load the filament into my Sovol SH01 filament dryer, and I always recommend using a filament dryer. It goes in easy. It's a 1 kilogram spool, same size as the majority of other spools, so it fits in your SH01 Sovol there. Really lovely, and I'm going to feed it into my K1 and do a bit of printing. So the slicer that I'm using today is the Creality print slicer that came with the K1, and the settings that I'm going to be using for this filament. Now, speed wise, if you're doing something that's highly detailed, printing at the maximum 600mm per second is probably not going to be the best idea. You're going to lose a little bit of quality. So if I'm doing some detail on my K1, I'll drop it down to 250. For the actual temperatures, I'll be sticking to around about a 220 degrees centigrade for the filament, and I will stick to a 60 degree build plate. And those are the settings that I use to get some fantastic results out of this PLA. Now, as I say, if you're printing something that's fairly basic, like this base here, you can whop it up to 600mm per second, and it did an amazing job on this base, as you can see here. But as for high, fine detailed work, you need to slow it down just a little bit, and that's the same with any filament that you use. So for this section of the Morbius base, it's quite intricate, so I've slowed this down to 250, and again, it has produced an incredible print with the finer details all coming through perfectly, as you can see here. And now I've printed the base in. Majority of what I've used is the high-speed PLA from JamgHe. The white is actually JamgHe's resin. It's the only resin part on this base. You can see that the detail and what this PLA has produced on the K1 is absolutely amazing. I feel that I've actually been able to make some resin quality PLA. Look at the leg here from Morbius. The quality is incredible. And there's part of the base, and I want to show you taking the supports off that part of the base, which again has been so easy to do. They literally just pop off. You're almost getting the level of support removal on resin here, and that's a chill out factor that you get when you pull off resin supports, but they literally just fall off with the minimum of effort. And this piece has been printed at 250mm per second speed using the same detail settings that you saw me use earlier. Absolutely excellent PLA on the K1. You heard me earlier mention resin quality on PLA. Well, here is that leg that I printed in JamgHe, super fast, high speed PLA, and I'm going to stick it onto a leg that I did with the JamgHe resin, and just look at the detail of both of those pieces. You know, you really cannot tell them apart. Excellent quality in both of these JamgHe products, but this PLA is holding its own with resin on pieces like this. Now, for my next project, and make sure you stay tuned for this one on Greedy 3D, I'm going to be making a Terminator head and shoulders bust, and what a great way to make that Terminator than use this JamgHe high speed PLA on my K1. The quality has come out incredible, and this had no supports at all. The next section, you'll notice notice a colour change, and I'm going to be moving on to the yellow JamgHe, and they have joined together beautifully and they have printed beautifully, as you can see here. Another fantastic roll of PLA from JamgHe. Now this yellow roll is doing another fantastic job, the same as its orange roll counterpart. Now for transparency, JamgHe have sent me all these rolls of PLA to test for them, but that in no way has any implication on my review. The product that I am using is excellent. It is fantastic. Accompanied with my K1 from Creality high-speed printer, this high-speed PLA from JamgHe is producing incredible results. And from a recommendation point of view, I fully endorse and recommend JamgHe's PLA here. You can see with your own eyes the quality is amazing. It is incredible. It is consistent. I love this PLA and I will continue moving forward to be using this to make the rest of my Terminator model and anything else I make in PLA going forward. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that, Greedy 3Ds. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Think about joining our Patreon. There is a new tier, so go and check that out, and I'll see you real soon on Greedy 3D. Don't forget to check the item description. There might even be a discount code for JamgHe for you hidden in there. See you next time, Greedy 3Ds. Thanks for watching.